So today, first I'd like to thank the organizers for having me here today, and thank you for taking the time to come and listen. So we're talking about, what do people need? What do people need? They need the opportunity to succeed. They need to learn the tools to succeed in an expanding world that's connected by social networks. They need to understand the visual language that connects cultures. They need a diverse cultural perspective. And they need to learn the tools to work internationally with colleagues in other countries. That's just a little bit, right? So how do we do that? Well, I'm going to take a little Russian perspective since we're in Russia. We're speaking at TEDxTomsk. The last 5 years I've had the chance to visit 26 cities in your country. I'm here about 120 days a year. And I've curated exhibitions, done projects, worked with museums and other cultural institutions. What does that have with the opportunities to succeed? Well, sometimes things aren't quite as simple as they seem. What I try to do in these projects, and their videos, their photographs, we bring people together to take pictures and talk. But I try to provide a rich learning environment coupled with a situational or environmental learning experiences, meaning you put people in a situation in which they're forced to learn, creating practical collaborations that bring participants into real-world situations. Well, what does that mean? In Bishkek, I did a project in Bishkek. We took 14 people up to Lake Issyk. We were removed from the city. We asked them to break into 2 teams, and each team had to shoot a video over the course of 3 days, a full video. Now, the first thing they had to do was sit in a group of 7 people and decide on one idea. Now, I don't know how many of you are artists, but it's almost impossible to get 7 artists to agree on anything, much less to get them to agree to do each other's idea. Everybody had to present an idea, they had to vote on it, and they all had to collaborate on the one idea they chose. The first team, they were seamless. They all agreed, we'll do this, we'll do this, we'll do this. They went out the first day, they shot amazing video, they came back, it was amazing. We thought it was incredible. The second team talked and struggled and talked. They went out to work the first day and it was chaos, pure chaos. They came back and their video wasn't good and they were very upset. They spent the night talking, and we thought one team was going to be a success, and the other team was going to be a disaster. So we went out to work with them the next day. We took cameras, we took dollies, we had 5D Mark IIs, we had other cameras, and all of a sudden, the team that was a disaster the first day, we realized they began to understand the idea of working together as a team. What they struggled with was how to truly collaborate, how to work together towards one goal. The team that had done amazing work the first day, all they had done was break into different groups, and each person did their own project. By the end of the week, by the end of the 3rd day actually, the group that struggled the first day produced an extraordinarily intelligent, well-connected, deeply invested video. They worked as a team, they worked together, they were proud, they produced something extraordinary. The other team that looked great the first day broke apart the second day. They never took the time to problem solve. They never took the time to work together as a team. They never understood the idea of collaborating, right? So what we did was we put them in an environment in which they had to learn collaboration. And then we took what they produced at the end of the day, we critiqued it every day as a group, and then we put it into the real world in Bishkek. It was in a catalog and it was in an exhibition, right? It's different when what you make goes into an exhibition. It's important that artists and everybody realizes that their voice is important. Your voice has value. What you think has value. That's part of my job. That's part of what we try to do here. We also try to teach the language of contemporary art. That's a big one. And we talk about how historical traditions and spiritual values function in this space. I did a project with the Objective Reality Foundation, We worked with 14 artists across Russia, and I asked them to define the idea of hope. Now, in America, I hope that my coffee's good, I hope that it doesn't rain, I hope that I have a good day at work, I hope. I was really surprised when it came to Russia. People really struggled with this idea of how to interpret the idea of hope. So what did they do? Well, of course, we had babies, we had people praying in church, we had spirituality, right? But people had a hard time really describing what hope was. And what they ended up telling me was that hope is an emotion of last resort. You have hope when everything else is gone. It's a very large cultural difference, right? I hope my coffee's good. People don't hope that here. They hope that life is okay. Now, I'm not saying that life is better in America. What I'm saying is, when you work in different cultures, you need to understand the language and the meaning of words and emotions and the idea of hope. How do I, when I work with people, help them feel hope? How do I get them to believe that what they do can lead to being successful one day? That's a big task. We need to give people diverse cultural perspectives. At the State Hermitage Museum, we've curated 3 collaborative exhibits so far. Each exhibition consists of Russian and American artists. What we do is we give them a topic. The first one was contemporary interpretations of the museum. We talked about who owns the museum space. How do you look at the art? Who feels ownership? In America, people feel they own that museum space. They're very comfortable. They take ownership and control of it. There's a greater reverence here in Russia, which I think is really beautiful. In the second project, we did contemporary interpretations of the portrait in the museum. So people had to go into the museum, they had to look at a historical painting, and then they had to interpret it with photography. Well, we had a roundtable discussion after the opening of the exhibition, and we had a lot of people come in who were very upset that we'd done that. Why? Because we were disrespecting the art in the museum. Because you couldn't photograph things that had been painted. You couldn't reinterpret those things. My argument was this: what is a painting? What is a portrait? Well, a portrait is a symbol of power, beauty, culture, social hierarchy, economics, right? It's simple. It seems like it's a picture. It's an image. But it's not just an image. It's a signifier. It signifies many, many different things. I want you guys to each think of a fashion picture. Come on. Think of something amazing. It can be historical, it can be contemporary. Now, what is that guy or girl wearing? Is the dress short? Is it long? Is the material heavy? Is it bright? Is it colorful? Is it dark? Because fashion photographs are beautiful images. And a lot of people say, well, fashion is a beautiful picture of a beautiful woman in a beautiful dress, and so what? Not really. Fashion is a symbol of society, our morals, the economic times, sexuality, right? Dresses are long, dresses are short. Shirts are open, shirts are closed. Men or women are sexually empowered, or they're not. They're emotional and happy, or they're not. They're with family, they're happy, or maybe they're not. When you look at imagery, the visual language in a picture, it goes much deeper. Now, I know a lot of you are photographers, videographers, artists. You have a responsibility. You need to learn the visual language that you're speaking in. You're not just making pictures, you're not just making videos, you're not just creating beautiful things. You're speaking a language. And that language is unique to your country, but it's also international. And it's your job to understand that language. When we do projects like this, where we take people from different countries and have them work on the same topic, or the video project we'll be talking about, we're really talking about cultural perspectives and visual language. When we talk about team building, management, project management, working together, we're talking about skills that will make you successful when you get outside of that environment. So sometimes something that seems very simple, making a video, working in a team, making a picture, has much deeper meaning and prepares you in a very different way to be successful in the world, right? The language today is visual. At one point it was speaking, then it was maybe writing and passing notes, then it was photographic. Your language is video. Your language is the internet. Your language are pictures on Facebook that are disposable. You put them up on a regular basis. The importance of an image changes. The value of an image changes. The language of an image changes. And that's your language. It's the language of youth. You need to own that. You need to understand it. You need to utilize it, because every business, every enterprise, and every cultural institution needs people who understand that language. If you can understand that language and you can utilize it, you can be successful. A lot of people think I'm an artist. I can't work in business. Not true. As times change, that language becomes more and more important. You become more and more important to society. You need to begin to view your talent in the world in a different way. It's important in these projects to give people a voice. You need to realize that your voice is valuable. It's one reason we always take a project and put it into the real world, right? The Bridge video project. It's a video project I'm doing in 20 cities across Russia, and with people in the United States, a handful of people around the United States. What we do is we bring in collaborative teams. We bring in diverse groups of people, so you start working with people that you don't normally work with. Why is that important? Because if you work within your own silo, your own narrow world, you don't know how to collaborate, you can never be successful. You can't develop projects that are diverse, that have a diverse perspective. So we bring together people from multiple perspectives. We ask them to create with their own voice. We ask them to talk about their lives, the life in their country, the life in their city. So they get to, in their own words, their own visual language, your language, they get to tell about their life, their world, how their perspectives are. Then we take those, we put them in an exhibition in New York. They're going to be in an exhibition touring Russia. They're going to be on a blog. They're going to be on a website. They're going to be viewed by literally tens of thousands of people. That's extraordinary. When you sit in a room full of participants for that project and you tell them tens of thousands of people are going to see their work, they don't believe it. Me, it's just me, I just made a video. Oh, it's going to be in New York. Oh, it's going to be across Russia. Oh, it's going to be on the internet. It's like YouTube. No, it's not like YouTube because it's a different context, right? Your voice has importance. We care what you think. It gets put into the real world. That's an important aspect of these projects because your voice matters. You need to learn to believe that. When people learn that their voice is important, they learn to speak a visual language. They learn to work together in teams. They learn to be professional, they learn to be accountable, they learn to be practical. While they're being creative, you have the tools to be successful. Things aren't as simple as they seem. We take pictures, we make videos, we create things, we have a good time, we laugh a lot. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. What we really do are help train people to be successful however they want to be. That's important. That's why these projects are important. Is there one more? We lost one. That's okay. What I'd like to finish up with is the idea of visibility and value. Visibility. It's important that your work is visible. It's important that you're visible. It's important that you take advantage of social media in the contemporary context that you live in. It's in Facebook and contact aren't just to post pictures of you like at the party, right? Maybe. But there are also places where people can begin to learn the value, begin to learn your visual value, begin to learn who you are. You need to begin to take advantage of that visibility. Being in an exhibition in New York, being in an exhibition in Moscow, being in an exhibition in St. Petersburg. It's nice, it's a line on your resume, you tell your friends they think they're cool. But it's also about building a career. It's also about building visibility. It's about building credibility. You need to begin to think about different spaces that you can begin to build credibility as an artist, as a business person, as a creative, right? So to summarize, it might just seem like taking pictures, making videos, or hanging out. Yesterday, some of you met and we designed new universities. It was pretty amazing, really. Very, very great group of people and really amazing group of ideas. Those are not just ideas that will lay dormant. We'll make sure that they get seen somewhere. But also, when you make these videos, you get together and you collaborate and you do these things, be aware of what you're learning and how they apply to other parts of your lives. Nothing in this world is singular. Nothing exists alone. Whether it's you, the pictures you make, the voice you have, the collaborations you make, none of those things exist in a singular context. So please, take advantage of those moments. You're in a room full of amazing people who want to learn and care. Take the time to know each other and collaborate. Take the time to break down your boundaries. And believe in yourselves and know that what you've done so far in these projects and what you do, even on Facebook and contact, have value and they can help make you successful in the world. Take advantage of that. Give yourself the opportunity to succeed. That's what we're here to do.